Hello everyone, I'm the 5-minute reviewer and today I'm going to talk about the Stellar Blade controversy, and I must confess, I actually don't quite get it. Let me explain why in a few moments. First off, let me talk to you about Stellar Blade. Basically, I only heard about the game recently and it's a PS5 exclusive, and it just shows a very pretty Asian lady fighting off monsters in extreme violence, and she's dressed a bit sexily. Fine, I thought. It's nothing unique. After all, pretty girls fighting monsters and using lots of violence is not particularly unusual. We have that with the Bayonetta series, and of course fighting game series like the Soul Calibur series. All these were recent releases and I don't see a lot of controversy about it. So I went to dig deeper in the bowels of the internet and found the following. So I went to see some nonsense street interviews from people whose opinion I don't really care about, and I went to take note of some nonsense tweets. And I found out the accusations are twofold. Number one, they think that the face model depicts a woman who is too young to be depicted sexually, in other words, a minor. And number two, they give women unrealistic proportions. So let's deal with these two controversies. So let's deal with the first controversy first. Right, first off, this lady, who is the face model of Eve from Stellar Blade, is not a minor. She's actually 32 years old. I shall try my best to say her name, but she's Shin Jae-eun and she's 32 years old as of this recording. I'm sorry if I said her name wrongly, but I'm not Korean. If you ever spend time in some parts of Asia, you'll notice that they tend to appear younger. Maybe due to genetics or climate or the diet that they eat. But I'll give you some examples from real life. For example, in the Japanese film Wife of a Spy, the main lead actress Yuri Oi, as you can see her right now, is actually 35 years old at the time of the release of the movie. So she actually doesn't look her age and appears much younger. In another example, from this famous Mongol film called The Mongol, this actress Chulini Kulan, I'm sorry again, I'm not Mongolian, she's actually 22 at the time of filming, but she looks way younger than that. So don't be surprised if Asians generally look younger than compared to our Caucasian counterparts. The next controversy I want to address is that whether the game gives an unrealistic image of women. And to that I said yes and no, but let's do the no first. What do I mean by this woman is realistic? As I showed earlier, that the main character Eve from Stellar Blade is actually face modeled after a real woman. But do I expect all women to be seen to be as pretty as her when I encounter them in real life? And the answer is no. So that gives the unrealistic part. But then again, games are unrealistic in general, and especially this is an action fantasy adventure, or rather a sci-fi adventure, and I don't expect realistic women everywhere I go. The depiction of beautiful women in action adventure games or video games in general is not a particularly unusual practice, and I shall cite some examples from the past. For example, the model Victoria Johnson was used to portray the character Morrigan in the 2009 game Dragon Age Origins. As you can see, she does look like her face model, and Morrigan is indeed a very pretty lady. In another example, Pamela Horton, the model, was used to portray Bayonetta in the Bayonetta series since 2009. So as you can see, they both do look very attractive and they look like each other. In another example, the 2007 series game Uncharted, Elena is portrayed by actress Emily Rose, and they both look very similar to each other. So regardless of what you think of realism, the use of face models who are pretty and attractive to portray video game characters is not particularly unusual practice. However, what I find even more controversial is the deliberate uglification of game characters, even though they do use face models. Let me show you 3 quick examples and then I'll end the video. In the first example, Horizon Forbidden West, I don't quite understand why, even though the main character Aloy is modeled after an actual person, they made her look plumber in the game. This is especially egregious because she actually does look okay in the first game, Horizon Forbidden Dawn. In another infamous example, the Mary Jane, whose face model is Stephanie Jones, is given a much more defined jawline and more masculine appearance than her face model, even though the face model herself said that she doesn't mind and support this creation. I don't understand why they deliberately make her look like that in the game. And of course, the upcoming Fable 4 game, in which the heroine is portrayed to look more ugly than her face model, and I don't quite understand it. Why do they have to deliberately make the face model, or rather make the game character more ugly than the face model in a fantasy game? I don't get it. So that's it guys, that's my 5-minute take on the recent Stellar Blade controversy. Do let me know what you think, whether you agree, disagree. I welcome your subscription and your viewership. Take care and have a good week ahead.